episode of your favorite podcast, Targo. Buddy,
what's up, man?
We have a number of hours left in the transfer window. Are you ready for this?
It's gonna get wild. That's all I can say. If today is any precursor for it.
Holy crap, we got a lot to get into. So today, preview of Matchweek 4 in the EPL. We got some damn good games coming up.
Ooh.
Transfer deadline day is on Friday. Champions League draw happens today. And got a ton of news in football, as well as our 5 matches to watch for y'all. So let's get into it. All right, make sure you guys checking out our socials, our Facebook group, our Instagram, our TikTok, our YouTube channel. So that way you guys can make sure you get all the up-to-date stuff on transfer deadline day, our Redbubble, so you can get pretty awesome merch like this awesome dad hat I got on.
That is an awesome dad hat, man. I love it.
Really does make me look like I got a dad hat on, yeah. And then, yeah, Targo, let's get into the fun stuff. What you drinking, my friend? What you drinking?
I think this might be a Brews and Banter first here for me. I am drinking some red wine.
Oh shit!
It is Robert's
first.
What? A first, yes, it's a first. Robert Mondavi Private Selection Heritage Red Blend. It's out of California.
Yeah.
2019. I don't feel like reading the back to you all, so let's just give it a try. I have not had it. Wife poured me a glass, and she was having some, and I thought, I can do that for the
Looks like
the
it
show.
was the end of the bottle.
It was the end of the bottle. You're not wrong. Oh, that's a red wine. Woo! My sips will be very sporadic during this episode.
Yeah. Well, then I guess I'm drinking for you because I got 2 beers today.
2 beers? It's been one of those weeks, man. Show me your 2 beers.
Okay, so I got Cascade Lakes Brewing Company Staycation IPA or Staycay IPA. Staycay. Yeah. It's a pineapple IPA. Honestly, I've been drinking it, so it's about halfway gone. It tastes like a pineapple hazy IPA.
I would probably like that.
Yes, you would. 100%.
I would like that, yeah.
This one I have not had yet. It's from Mountain Lakes Brewing in Spokane. This one, I love the name of it. It's called Fugglepants IPA.
That is a great name, Fugglepants.
I have not had it. So
we might have to name this episode Fugglepants.
Fugglepants
for the Spotify and all those. Which you guys should be giving us 5 stars on. Just saying.
I agree on that one. This one's an odd one. It's kind of bland, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, Fugglepants not coming out strong, huh?
Well, it's like Fugglepants, right? Like
just kind of there.
It's bland up front. Like most IPAs hit you with flavor in the front. Well, it doesn't have any, and then it just like slowly hits you on the tongue. Very hoppy finish. That's it.
So would you drink it again?
Probably not. But I mean, if someone handed me one, yes, I would drink it. So.
Okay. Would drink again, but wouldn't seek out to drink again, I guess.
Yeah, I would go solid 5 out of 10. This Staycay, I'm gonna go 8. Solid 8. I very much enjoy it.
Don't ask me to do red wines, man. I am not a wine connoisseur. All reds pretty much taste the same to me.
I'm not a wine connoisseur either, but I can definitely tell the difference, and I do drink a lot of wine. So
I do not.
I try to save all the beers for the podcast, man. You got to have something new.
Got to switch it up every once in a while.
Yeah, I can't just try all the beers out on my own. I got to do it. Have an audience. Okay, let's get into the news, Targo.
There's lots.
Manchester United, left backs. They're linked with a lot of them.
Who are they going for?
This time it's Lyon's Nicolas Tagliafico being their main target, looking to get a 1-year loan over the line. They're also looking at Brentford's Rico Henry, Tottenham's Sergio Reguilon, and Barcelona's Marcos Alonso. I would assume Marcos Alonso is going to be the cheapest and last resort option there, but I mean, all not bad targets to back up
The injured Luke Shaw.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will say Marcos Alonso started on the weekend for Barca against Villarreal.
Didn't look too bad, but last time he was in the Premier League, he looked real bad. So
he looks aged, I would say. I guess is the correct
I feel
term.
like he'd be a better center back than a left back at this point, personally. Anyways, Liverpool and the link that won't go away. They're said to be in advanced negotiations with Bayern for Ryan Gravenberch. Bayern need to find a replacement first before they let him go. Their asking price is said to be 30 million euros. So compared to what they've been linked with this summer, that's pretty inexpensive for Liverpool.
Yeah, a little bit of untested midfielder there. Still young,
21
plays
years
well
old.
at Ajax.
Speaking of Bayern Munich's replacements, their eyes are on João Palhinha, Scott McTominay on loan, or Wilfred Ndidi.
So just do a swap, Gravenberch for McTominay.
Well, McTominay's United, and this is Liverpool. But
oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I think United have also been linked with Gravenberch, haven't they?
Yeah, for literally a straight swap with Bayern for the two of them on loan. So
there you go.
Yeah. PSG's bid of 80 million has been rejected by Eintracht Frankfurt for Kolo Muani. He has since gone on strike and after the club rejected their club record bid for him.
Yeah,
that
I think
Frankfurt's club record.
I think I've heard they're holding out for 100 mil.
Yeah. I think PSG will get it over the line, but we got some more PSG news later on. So financial fair play is a joke. Let's just say that. Matthias Nunes has signed for Manchester City for £60 million from Wolves.
Is it official? I saw today
he got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano and a number of other sources.
Here we go. So it's probably happening.
So the other stipulation in this one was Tommy Doyle, a youth product of Manchester City, went to Wolves for $5 million, but City retained 50% of his sell-on clause. So whenever they sell him, City gets half of the fee. And then Wolves also signed Santiago Bueno from Girona. So some quick in and outs there.
That's an interesting one. How do you think Wolves will do without Matheus Nunes?
I'm very curious. I think they're gonna probably have to spend the rest of that 60 mil before they transfer.
I think they can, man. They're hurting financially.
I don't think so either, but they're gonna have to spend some of it. I mean, he's their best player by far, and he hasn't even played for him for a year.
So I don't know if I would say he's their best player. He's definitely, of course, one of their more impactful players. I will say that. Yeah. But I mean, if you look at last season, his stats, I guess overall are not fantastic. Like he had 1 goal and 1 assist.
Yeah. But he seems to be that pass before the pass.
He is, and he's good at getting them Wolves out of trouble, carrying the ball out from that, defensive end into the attacking end. But stats wise, not great. 1 goal, 1 assist.
Yeah.
Do you think Man City are getting a dud, or is it a good signing?
Well, he's young, right? He's got a lot of raw potential.
I mean, he's not the youngest. He's 25.
Yeah, but young compared to other players that City have signed, I guess. I really didn't realize.
I don't know. Doku's not old. I thought Guardiola's not old.
I thought he was 23. So 25. That does make a big difference. I mean, I think it's going to be a signing more like Calvin Phillips.
Just sit there. Poor Calvin Phillips, man. They go and buy 2 midfielders this season. He's just sitting there on the bench waving his hand. Hello, I'm here. I can play.
Yeah. I don't even understand why he went. Liverpool have been linked with Calvin Phillips. Maybe he gets some more playing time there. I don't know.
Potentially, yeah, that defensive end.
Yeah.
He'd have to fight off Endo.
Yeah, well, at least he's got a better chance than Rodri, so.
You're not wrong. Rodri is, yeah.
The best. To put it like.
I had a start, sit, sell for you.
Okay.
Rodri, Busquets, Casemiro.
All in their primes?
Sure.
Well, because I'm not going to start Busquets right now.
Yeah, obviously.
In their primes, I would start Busquets. I would probably bench Rodri and sell Casemiro. For me, it's just how good Busquets was on the ball.
Those little passes he'd make over.
He still does it, but it's in the MLS.
Yeah, he did it last year for Barca.
Yeah, and he does it in the MLS, and it's like nobody can stop it. Also, don't even get me started on that picture where he's barefoot. That's the most disgusting foot I've ever seen in my life.
His long ass feet.
Oh my god! Like there's like no toes on the end of it either. It's a goddamn alien. Anyways, speaking of Manchester City and young talent, Chelsea have agreed.
This one surprised me.
Manchester City,
freaking nowhere, dude.
This deal seemed like it took like 15 minutes. I swear to God. 45 million. It's 40 mil with 5 mil in add-ons for Cole Palmer, who tore it up early in the first two games of City season, coming on against was it Burnley and Arsenal.
Burnley, yeah, and then he scored a golazo against Arsenal in the Community Shield.
Yeah, his medical is to take place today. Deal took, according to Fabrizio Romano, they've been behind the scenes discussing it, but no, I didn't hear anything about it until a couple hours ago, and then a couple hours ago it was done. So
that's fantastic signing for Chelsea, man.
Oh, huge!
Little bit of risk, 40 mil, not huge, or 45 mil, not a huge fee, but still quite a bit for a young. What is he? 20?
Yeah, 2021. Not quite proven yet, but you can clearly see the potential and skill is there. So.
Oh, the potential is huge.
Yeah.
So he's 21. You're right.
So yeah, it's a huge signing for them. I think he might be one of their most impactful signings that they have.
That's a huge signing, man.
Allows Sterling to go back over to the left, where he's.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
All right.
I don't know. Would you want to move Sterling with what that relationship he's got go with Malo Gusto?
I don't know. That's a Pochettino question, not a me.
Okay, let me hit up Pochettino later.
Yeah, let me text him.
Got him on speed dial here. Hey, Poch.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how bad Tottenham are doing? Yeah. How about Sterling on the right?
How bad Tottenham are doing as they've won 2 of their 3 games.
And we'll get to what happened.
Yeah, we'll get to what happened today.
Ivan Fresneda has signed for Sporting Lisbon. And get this price, because this is a bit ridiculous for me, for someone who's been linked to some of the biggest clubs in the world. 9 million euros plus 3 million in add-ons and a 10% sell-on clause to Valladolid.
Yeah, he was linked with Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal, Barca.
Yeah. What a great signing for Sporting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Speaking of, players that play for Barcelona or have been linked to them, Aston Villa and Barcelona have agreed on a loan deal for Clément Lenglet, center back. Provides extra depth for them.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's because of the injury to Tyrone Mings.
Yeah. So, I think it was a good signing. He did pretty terribly at Tottenham last season, I will say. Didn't play much.
Yeah, I mean, he might be play a little backup here.
Yeah, 100%. But it provides depth for them at center back, which they didn't really have a ton of, so that's good. Okay, so into a bit of Fulham news. Fulham have signed Timothy Castagna from Leicester City. And they're also set to make a 15 million euro bid for Luis Ocampos. Thoughts?
You think they can get Ocampos for that cheap? I feel like you should start at like 40.
I feel like it too, but apparently Sevilla's in some dire financial trouble right now.
Interesting. And then Castagna, yeah, he'll be back up there to Kenny Tete at Fulham.
Yeah, it's a good signing.
Not terrible.
Yeah,
not terrible backup.
He did okay for Leicester City last season. There was glimpses of great potential in him. And then Ocampos for 15 mil. I think that might be the steal of the summer.
Steal.
Yeah.
Steal.
Absolute steal. And then to cap it off, after tying Arsenal over the weekend, they knocked Spurs out of the Carabao Cup on penalties on Tuesday.
Yep. Tied 1-1, went to PKs. See you later, Spurs.
Yep.
I will say Ange Postecoglou made 9 changes for this game.
Oh, yeah. No, I watched it, and this was a very, very different Tottenham side, but it also shows kind of like Arsenal last season. With their backups, they're not very good.
No. But your one guy got a goal.
Yeah, Richarlison. I did see it. Yeah.
Richarlison got the one goal. It took him how many games last year to score?
Almost the whole season. Yeah. But kind of backs up my point of benching him in our sit, start, sell. So must have heard me. Tottenham was the first EPL side knocked out of the Carabao Cup, and I'm just going to, quietly laugh at them because it's yet another trophy passing them by.
Yeah, I was questioning all those changes. You expect a few, 3, 4, but 9?
You think if Spurs were to win any trophy this season, it would be that one?
Yeah, you want to stay in it, man. Especially, no offense to Tottenham fans, but you're not going to win the league.
No. You're probably not going to win the FA Cup.
It's a trophy.
Yeah.
It's not the most prestigious trophy, but it's something to hang your hat on, man.
Yeah. Just look at Manchester United last season.
I don't know why he would make that many changes. Maybe he's trying to get a better sense of that squad. That's something you can't see in training, so you play him in a cup competition. I don't know, but disappointing. Lost momentum after those fantastic opening games in the Premier League.
Yep. Apparently, they've also... Sorry. Speaking of Spurs, they've also inquired about FC Porto winger Pepe, according to Rudy Galletti, who's the same person that brought the Mo Salah wants to leave Liverpool. So
we'll see how real it is, huh?
Grain of salt. Yeah. Napoli have given Irving Chucky Lozano the green light to travel to Amsterdam to complete his medical for a sensational return to Ajax.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then Matteo Guendouzi has joined Lazio on a loan deal for an initial somewhere between 2 to 5 million with an obligation to buy for 12 million. Arsenal get 15% of that fee.
Leaving Marseille for Lazio, okay.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where his career goes because he's got so much potential, but his attitude is not great.
Well, I'm curious. How old is he?
24?
You are correct. Good job.
Thanks. I don't get them all right, but, I'll take it when I can get it. All right, to the only piece of Saudi Arabian news that we have today.
Oh my gosh, only one?
No, I tried to stray away from it, but Al Arabi are closing in on the signing of Marco Verratti from PSG. Final details are being clarified on the player side, and then it's a done deal, according to Fabrizio Romano.
About right for him, man. His career really stalled there at PSG.
It did. He was good for the first couple of years, but lately,
injuries.
He just looks destined to leave. So
injuries, man.
Yeah. And then Nottingham Forest with yet more players that they're apparently going to sign. They're closing in on deals for Michy Batshuayi from Fenerbahce and Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea.
So Callum Hudson-Odoi I could see, because he's a left winger.
Mm-hmm.
Callum. Michy Batshuayi, though. They got Chris Wood, Awoniyi, Brennan Johnson up there. Is one of those three maybe leaving?
Possibly.
Potentially.
I don't know. It's going to be something that we have no idea about. And it'll come out of the
foreshadowing.
I personally hope when he stays for the whole season. So I would love to see how much he can terrorize defenses for Nottingham Forest.
So far, he's been doing a good job, man.
Exactly. Okay, back to PSG. They have completed an agreement with Lyon for winger Bradley Barcola for a total of 50 million euros.
So how much money has PSG spent? I mean, they bought this guy, Bradley Barcolo. They got Goncalo Ramos, Ousmane Dembele.
That's not it either, I don't think.
That Asian player, Kang In Lee.
Min Lee, yeah. That one's a free transfer.
Was he? Same with, I knew Asensio was, and I think Skriniar was.
But they're on big wages, aren't they?
Well, apparently getting rid of Messi and Neymar's wages. Oh, well, I guess that helps. They sold Neymar.
Especially, yeah. They've spent a total of 209.5 million euros, but they've got 141 million in.
Okay.
So
that Neymar deal, huh?
Manuel Ugarte.
Oh, they bought him. That's right.
60 mil, I think. So, yeah, those are the signings they spent money on. Okay, Brighton, and probably my shock transfer. I had it on my predictions, but I can't say it's a prediction since it's happened. So
has it got Brighton, the here we go?
It did get the here we go. I wrote on here they inquired to sign Ansu Fati on loan from Barcelona. He had to choose between Spurs and Brighton. Apparently, he chose Brighton. So
that's an interesting one.
Pretty great signing for them, though, for Brighton.
He's a left winger? I think is where he plays.
He plays both sides.
Yeah, I think he does too. Play left and right. Because on the left they got obviously Matoma.
Yeah.
But on the right they got Sully March, man.
Yeah.
Does Ansu Fati play in Brighton?
I would think
doesn't start. I don't think he starts.
It'd be interesting to see. Maybe they're bringing him in to be more of a backup for Matoma. Maybe they want to put Sully Marsh more center. I have no idea about this one, but it came out of nowhere. Could be just
depth since they're playing in Europe.
Yeah, could be. And he'll definitely get a lot of playing time if that's the case. All right, our final piece of news. Barcelona looks set to put all their chips in the João Felix basket as they look to complete the deal before the end of the window. They're looking to loan out or sell 2 players to make room for him so they can actually register him, according to Fabrizio Romano.
You think they get that done in the remaining hours?
Leave that for my predictions.
Okay.
So, with just hours left in the window and a Champions League draw coming up, make sure to catch our special transfer deadline edition of The Rumor Mill on YouTube as we discuss Champions League draw, cover all the transfers on deadline day, and see who can get those last-minute deals in. And I will be joined by my colleague over here, Mr. Targo, and potentially another person who could be a former Sounder. We'll see how timing works on that one, but we'll see. Speaking of Champions League draw, let's preview it, man. We got the final teams qualifying to yesterday, the matchups that could happen, and the matchups we'd love to see. So with the Champions League, we got 32 teams, 4 pots of 8. It will be drawn into 8 groups of 4 teams. 26 teams get automatic entry. The 6 teams played qualifiers. The last 3 were today. And no 2 teams from the same federation can be drawn together in the group stage. So Manchester City, Arsenal, Manchester United cannot be paired together. Barcelona and Real Madrid cannot be paired together. Napoli, Inter Milan, and AC Milan cannot be paired together. so on and so forth. So, pot 1 officially: Manchester City, Sevilla, Barcelona, Napoli, Bayern Munich, PSG, Benfica, and Feyenoord.
Some good teams, man. Good teams.
Feyenoord a little bit of a surprise in that one.
Oh, they came in first in the Eredivisie.
They did. Pot 2. This is loaded, by the way.
This is a good one, too. You're not wrong.
Real Madrid, Manchester United, Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, RB Leipzig, Porto, and Arsenal. I wouldn't want to draw any of those teams, to be honest with you. Pot 3, which has been shaken up a little bit after the qualifications. We got Shakhtar Donetsk, Red Bull Salzburg, AC Milan, Lazio, Red Star Belgrade, PSV, Braga, and FC Copenhagen. Pot 4. I want to say newcomers Newcastle, but it's just been a long time. Newcomers Union Berlin.
How about Lens?
Yeah. Young Boys, Antwerp, Galatasaray, Real Sociedad, and Celtic. So thoughts on all of these, some matchups you might want to see.
Oh man, there's a lot of good ones. There's some good teams in this. I'm excited to see. Honestly, you know what team I'm most excited to watch in this Champions League?
Who?
Union Berlin.
Yeah, me too. I was looking at this, and Union Berlin could get a possible group of Manchester City, Real Madrid, and AC Milan.
That would suck for them. I hope they don't.
It would, because Newcastle.
I mean, even then, one of those three, one of Milan or Madrid or City are going to go in the Europa League,
right? That would be
happens.
nuts. That would be the group of death for sure. How about like teams? Give me like 2 teams you would love to see face off in a group.
In a group, I just want to see Bayern Munich play Real Madrid. That could be a good one to start off in a group game.
Yeah, it would be. I would love to see Napoli and Arsenal.
Okay.
And we were talking about all last season when Arsenal were on that tear. Like, what would happen if they played Napoli when they were on their tear? I would love to see it this season. Both teams, Napoli arguably a little bit worse, but Arsenal are supposedly much better.
Yeah, supposedly.
I would also love to see Real Madrid and Benfica.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another one that doesn't disappoint usually is Real Madrid and Borussia. Oh, they're in the same group. Hold on, never mind. But maybe a PSG Borussia Dortmund?
Yeah. PSG Real Madrid never disappoints either. So
no, it doesn't.
Atletico and Manchester City never disappoints either. There's a lot of matchups here.
Newcastle playing any of those teams.
I know.
Like, can you imagine Real Madrid going the Italian side playing Newcastle?
What I would love to see, because all of these teams, it's not because all these teams have the vertical stripes, but, you know, seeing Barcelona, Inter Milan, Shakhtar, and Newcastle all in the same group.
The group of stripes.
Group of vertical stripes. Yeah. But I'm going to go with my bold prediction. And I don't think you're going to get a Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I think because it happens every time Arsenal are in the Champions League.
Bayern Munich and Arsenal.
Bayern Munich and Arsenal. And I think Harry Kane is going to return to England to face the team he supported as a child.
And score a bunch of goals against them.
And that too. So maybe he says good things now that he's not playing for Tottenham. So.
Tout it. Highly tout it.
Either that or Barcelona, because those seem to happen every single time Arsenal's in Champions.
Well, they can't be in the same group.
Arsenal and Barcelona?
Oh, never mind. Yeah, they can.
How about you? Any bold predictions on the draw?
I don't know, man. It's all random. How do you predict something that's just that random?
Sometimes it doesn't seem very random, to be honest with you.
Maybe, but it is.
It is.
I mean,
yeah,
it's random. I don't even want to mention any potential matchups. I just hope Newcastle gets in with one of the big boys, and we have a fun game.
You know what would be fun to see? Now I'm looking at it. Newcastle PSG. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
Yeah.
Honestly, Newcastle against any of those Pot 1 teams, maybe minus Sevilla.
Or Feyenoord.
Yeah, would be a good one. You know,
I agree.
all of, honestly, Pot 2, I think would be good against Newcastle.
Yeah. Well, they can't play Manchester United or Arsenal, so they're bound to get a good team. Yeah, I mean, this Champions League is going to be no joke. A lot of these teams are very, very good. There's going to be multiple teams that get knocked into the Europa League that you would think would challenge for the later stages of the Champions League.
So give me your top 5 favorites to win the Champions League.
Ooh. That's tough. I don't even want to answer that until I see the draw.
Well, that's too bad. I'm asking you now.
I'll give you 5
I'm
now.
I'm asking you now. I'll ask you again when the draw happens.
Why I'm saying looking at the teams, because it might change by the time the draw happens.
I'm asking you now, man. Looking at all the teams that are in it, which teams are the most favorite?
City, obviously.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, now that they have Harry Kane.
Yep.
Real Madrid.
Okay, you got the 3 obvious ones out of the way.
Uh-huh. The last 2 are a little harder.
A little bit.
I'm going to go with Arsenal and Barcelona, but that's not really a shock, so.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
So, yeah, obviously City, Munich, Real Madrid. And like you said, it's the other 2. I want to throw PSG in there, but.
You know, if they get in a group with Real Madrid, and they get another tough team from pot 3 or 4 with Vinny Jr. out, it could cause some problems for Real Madrid.
And with Mbappe staying.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is the main man officially. With no Neymar, no Messi.
I feel like half of that whole transfer saga was just a show until they got rid of Neymar.
Yeah.
Because it's no secret that those two did not like each other.
I want to say a team from Italy, man. Either Napoli, Inter Milan, AC Milan.
AC Milan is going to be real sneaky this year.
I think I'm going to throw AC Milan in there. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to ask me my underdogs, AC Milan would be at the top of that list.
They've looked good at the start of Serie A, so those would be mine.
They have maybe had the best transfer window of any team in the world, especially with the money spent. It's crazy. They barely spent $100 million.
With the prices of what they bought those players, yeah.
All right. So, not only do we have a Champions League draw, but we got transfer deadline day, so it's going to get crazy.
It's going to be wild, man. Transfers coming out of nowhere that no one saw coming.
And it happens the blink of an eye. It really
does on deadline day.
Let's preview what might happen, because we don't know.
I have no idea.
Maybe some bold predictions of what will happen. This is all going to be hearsay, probably by the time this airs.
So I honestly, when you wrote this segment in, man, I was like, I have no idea. I mean, the only one I could really think of was, I think Spurs are going to sign a forward. I think they have to.
Yeah.
Okay. They can't rely on Richarlison.
Who do you think that forward's going to be?
And then if Richarlison gets hurt, they would be up shit creek without a paddle, man.
New 18 or 20-year-old signing from Argentina.
So yeah, I'm going with Brennan Johnson.
Okay.
And so this one's kind of a weird one, because I don't think it necessarily makes Spurs better. I don't think he starts. I still think Richarlison will start potentially, but they just need a striker. They do.
Yeah. I mean
Brennan Johnson.
I think Brennan Johnson might start. I think he could beat out Kulusevski for the right side.
He makes good runs, but his finishing is not the best yet. It's just not
yet.
Yeah, it's a keyword. Yeah, I mean, just what we've seen so far of him. You know, he's been in the Premier League 1 season,
mm-hmm.
So that's one I think Spurs sign a striker, potentially Brennan Johnson.
Okay.
And then another one is Eric Dyer is going to leave Spurs.
Well, I think it seems inevitable, but
I don't think he fits in Postecoglou's plans. I don't think he's the type of defender Postecoglou wants. Who comes and gets him? That's up in the air, but I'm going to go with Bayern Munich.
Okay.
After selling Benjamin Pavard.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite the downgrade for them.
Personally. It is. But they got Kim Min-jae already. They got Upamecano, De Ligt playing that center back role.
In Germany, maybe he does better. I mean, he get to, line up with his old buddy Harry Kane.
That he would. Spurs buddy, England buddy, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's definitely, I think you're right. It's definitely time for Eric Dyer to move on from Spurs. I don't think he's ever going to really play there again besides, massive injury troubles. But
yeah, I don't see it happening.
After watching him last season and how error prone he was, man, him and Hugo Lloris both need to go.
Well, it's not only error prone, but he's not best on one-on-one scenarios.
It's slow. His age is short.
And he's going to be put in that's it. He's slow. You're not wrong. He's not quick. And he's going to be put in a lot of those situations with the way Ange plays.
Yeah, agreed. Especially very isolated at times.
Very.
I think that's a good shout. It really is. And I think you might see that happen even before deadline day.
So who do you got? I'm guessing you got some bold predictions there, man. Transfer guru.
Yeah, I got a lot, and I'll just ask for your reactions mostly. So I'll say them out, and you can tell me whatever the hell you want after that. First one, not really a bold prediction, but it's just how ridiculous the spending is in England. The EPL they'll surpass their record of £1.92 billion for a transfer window, and I think they're going to surpass it by hitting the £2 billion mark.
I mean, it's England or Saudi Arabia. It's spending money.
Yeah, well, I don't think Saudi Arabia are going to quite pass that because they haven't even hit $1 billion yet. But they do have 20 days after the English transfer window ends to spend money on players.
That's what's wild. So if you're in England, man, and Saudi Arabia comes, for example, Mo Salah has been a rumor going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I think then if you're any of these teams, if your window's closed, man, you just tell Saudi Arabia, nope.
Yeah.
You say,
or at least say that you can't sign him until January.
Yeah, you come back in January.
Add 20 mil onto whatever asking price you had, and then say he'll go there in January, but he's not going until then. I mean, yeah, I think that's going to have to be what it is. But then again, if a player tries to leave, you can't
force a move.
Yeah. Speaking of which, my biggest, boldest prediction: Mo Salah will leave Liverpool and go to Saudi Arabia.
You think he will, huh? I don't think so.
You got to get bold, man, and that's the boldest of them all.
It is bold. I will give you that, but I don't think it happens. Not enough time for Liverpool to get a replacement in.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, but they can't necessarily replace him.
I mean, you're losing 20 goals.
More than that, but yeah. You think of assists he creates, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be their best passer of the ball as well. So, I mean, you're losing. You probably have to sign 2 players to even.
I mean, you saw that ball he played for Luis Diaz against Chelsea opening day.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then see the viewpoint he had. How he saw Luis Diaz, I have no idea. One that's not very bold. Steven Gerrard will sign another former Liverpool player for Al Ettifaq. And my guess is going to be Gigi Wijnaldum because he's still not playing for whatever team he plays for now.
Not Loris Karius?
No. I think they'll go for Allison before they do that.
No, they'll go for Adrian.
But that's not too far out of the ballpark. But okay, Chelsea, having signed Cole Palmer, will still sign 2 more players.
2 more, okay.
400 million spent this summer. So that'll equate to a quarter of the transfer business in the Premier League.
They also brought in the most money.
Yeah, they did. But they've spent 400 million, or almost. So, yeah. Under the radar, Inter Milan will sign Tungai Dombele on loan for the season from Tottenham Hotspur. And he might just do what he did at Napoli for them.
Not play very much, come off the bench.
But play very well when he comes off the bench. Okay.
Seems like that's what he did at Napoli.
We're going to go with Brentford. Okay. I know you said Brendan Johnson might go to Tottenham. I think either Brendan Johnson or Hugo Ekitike will go to Brentford. They're linked with both players. It's going to still be a club record. Either one they sign, probably about 50 mil.
Yeah, Ekitike is at PSG?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yeah, both are young. Both can play right wing or striker. I think both of them come in and eventually be the replacement for Ivan Toney.
Okay.
Manchester. I know you said they're not going to sign anybody, but Manchester United will get Sofyan Amrabat across the line, but not on a permanent transfer, on a loan deal.
I don't know if I call that one bold because he's been linked with them all summer.
I didn't say it was bold, but
these are bold predictions, man.
Bold one I will go with. Union Berlin will sign Leonardo Bonucci.
Bonucci.
Yep. 36 years old, I think. But he doesn't really play much for Juventus anymore. Union Berlin need that sort of leadership and experience in the Champions League. Just makes sense.
Okay.
I was going to say Luton Town will sign Rob Holding on loan, but that's not really a bold prediction, so I'm going to leave it alone. And then Barcelona will sign João Felix, but at what cost?
So let me ask you a question.
Will they be able to register him?
Will they be able to play?
I don't know. Chelsea's been linked with both Ferran Torres and Rafinha. Do they get rid of one of them?
I mean, they're still trying to figure out João Cancelo over there at Barca.
Yeah. And they
get him registered.
Get rid of at least 2 players' wages to be able to even think about João Felix. So
I don't think they do.
That is my bold prediction to end all of my bold predictions.
Okay, well, those are pretty bold, man. We'll see how many of them actually come true.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was January, I did predict Neymar would go to Chelsea. He did go to a team in blue and white. It just wasn't Chelsea. So it was kind of around the same.
That's what you're trying to get, man. He went to a team with the same color jersey.
I mean, in January, would you have predicted that Saudi Arabia would be signing so many good players?
Not as many as they have got, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I at least had the colors right. I'll just say that.
You had the colors right. You heard it here, man.
All right. Moving on. Matchweek 4 in the Premier League. We got some good matchups, and we got some potential snooze fests. So, let's get into it. First up, we got Luton Town against West Ham. It's Luton's first game at home.
Let's go, Luton!
It's going to be quite the scene.
Scenes, man. There's going to be multiple of them.
Oh, man. It's going to be nuts. I'm very excited to see it. But the real question is, can West Ham keep their cool and keep their form at the same time?
It's West Ham, so I'm going to say no. I feel like West Ham will be coming off this huge high. You know, they got a win against Brighton, that win against Chelsea, and now I think they come back down to earth here at Luton.
Yeah? You think Luton's going to win, huh?
I know I wrote win, but honestly, I'm leaning more towards a draw, but I'll stick with my Luton team.
Okay. You think more of a, like, crazy emotional comeback? Like West Ham scores early and then Luton comes back and everything just goes nuts?
I don't know. I don't think it'll be quite like that. I think Luton might come out hot and flying. They're going to be riding that high of the Premier League, their first home game there.
I'm going to go Luton scores first, but West Ham win the game.
Counterattacking?
I don't think so.
Seems to be the only way they score.
I think West Ham will dominate possession. I think James Ward-Prowse and Lucas Paqueta will make the difference.
Okay, they are quality.
Maybe debut from Mohamed Kudus?
I'm excited to see him in the Premier League. I'm not going to lie.
I am too. What a player he was in the World Cup. I just can't wait to see him, even for West Ham and their ridiculous bubble jerseys.
They do have some bubbles.
Their white jerseys are amazing, though. I will say it. The white badge, the white jersey, they look fantastic. Okay, to the snooze fest. We got the two worst teams in the Premier League, Sheffield United against Everton.
Everton, who have not scored a goal.
Yep, not won a game. Sheffield United took City to the brink.
And because they did that, man, I'm going to go with a win for Sheffield.
Okay. I'm going to go with an absolute snooze fest and a 0-0 draw.
Watch this be like 4-5 or something.
Right. Or a 3-3.
Something like that.
Get it right, just not the 0-0.
You would.
One of the most intriguing battles of the weekend. We got Chelsea and Nottingham Forest.
Okay, Chelsea and Forest at the bridge.
At the bridge. Can Forest continue to get goals inside the first couple minutes? Or can they even play like that for 90 minutes?
Shows like no. That's what they're showing us, man.
And then can Chelsea keep up the chemistry between Sterling and Malo Gusto?
I think Chelsea get it done, man.
Well, after seeing Chelsea against Wimbledon in the FA Cup today.
A little rough, right? A little rough.
A lot of rough. I'm going to go with a Forest win in this one.
Oh, I think they got a result there last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think they got a draw.
Yeah, it's still not what I said. So
I know it's not what you said,
but that is a result nonetheless. I think this Chelsea squad are so ebb and flow and up and down that they don't play great for 90 minutes. If Forest can get a couple of goals early like they did against United, I don't think Chelsea can come back like United did.
Oh, I don't think so either. How about the champions? Who do they play in?
The champions? They're playing Fulham.
Champions Manchester City.
Against Fulham, who are in great form. And the question really is, can Fulham keep their solid form going against the champions?
It's at the Etihad, man.
It is.
I don't think they can.
Okay. For me, the way Fulham has been playing, especially on the counter, they don't need a lot of opportunities. City have been a little prone to the counter this season. I'm going to go draw.
They're prone with their one goal they've conceded. That's why I got to give it to City, man. That defense is... Somehow they made it better. That defense is just better now this season than last. And they just look rock solid back there.
Yeah. I'm only going for a draw because of how much Fulham has impressed me this season. So, you're probably right. To be honest.
If it is a draw, because you're saying a draw, correct?
Yes.
So, as 0-0 would be perfect.
Yeah. 100%.
For Fulham.
Okay. Burnley and Tottenham. Will we see an open box-to-box game? Or will Burnley sit back and try to stifle Angeball?
I'm going Spurs, man. Angeball looked good in the Premier League. I think he gets back to that best first 11. And they get the job done at Burnley.
Okay. I know Vincent Kompany does not like to sit back. And that'll play right into Ange's hands. I do think this will be a higher scoring game than most people think, but I think Spurs win. So I will agree with you. We got Brentford against Bournemouth. Will Mbomo and Jan Bisa keep up their goal-scoring form?
Yeah, Kevin Schade in there as well. With a golazo at the weekend, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going all Brentford, especially at Brentford, man. That home field is a fortress for them.
Yes, it is. And I'm not going to disagree with you with this one. Brentford at home against the Bournemouth squad that is not good away from home. I'm going with Brentford all day. Crystal Palace against Wolves. Is this the game we see the real Crystal Palace?
I mean, we haven't seen them yet. Is that I mean, they drew last weekend to Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
Selhurst Park is a tough place to go to.
It is a tough place to go. So how will Wolves fare without Matthias Nunes?
I'm going to go... I don't know. So Wolves impressed me against Man United and then did not impress me in their last game at the weekend. I'm going to go a draw.
Okay. I'm going to not bet against old Roy Hodgson because that bit me in the butt a lot last season.
Whenever you bet against him.
And this season, I picked it against them, and they, well, except for the Arsenal game, which should have probably been a draw. Yeah, I'm not going to bet against Roy Hodgson, so Palace it is for me. So,
all right.
On to what y'all have been waiting for, our Fab Five, our games to watch for this weekend. There's a lot of really good games.
This was hard to narrow down. Like, we even have to give out some honorable mentions, man.
We do. So we're
going to start with Italy.
AS Roma and AC Milan because it's on Friday. But, I mean, yeah, could have gone with Napoli, Lazio, Inter, or Fiorentina. Both great games. But win in Rome.
When in Rome.
Actually in Rome. Will Romelu Lukaku make his debut?
I got to point out, Inter against Fiorentina is the Champions League finalists against the Conference League finalists.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, will Lukaku make his debut?
Probably too soon.
Yeah. I mean, did you see Roma's president flew to London in his private jet to pick him up? And flew
I did
him back.
see that.
That's pretty awesome, not going to lie. As him as the pilot.
Milan have looked good so far in Serie A, man. They've scored 6 goals in their first 2 games.
Yeah. One American, Christian Pulisic, has been amazing.
You know who else has been amazing? Olivier, better than Neymar, Giroud.
The king
scoring
himself.
3 goals in 2 games, man.
King Oli. Or will Rafael Leao get his first goal?
Yeah, dude, can he get going?
I know. Imagine that attack if all 3 of them are on fire. Holy cow.
Scary. That's why I have him as dark horses in the Champions League, man.
And I don't disagree with you at all. Then we got Roma, on the other hand, are looking for their first win after a draw and a loss to start the season, which is really surprising seeing who they've signed. I mean, Hassim Aouar, Renato Sanchez, Leandro Paredes, and now Lukaku. None of them have started together, oddly enough.
No, and it's the games they played. So their loss is to Verona. So that's a bit disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
And then their draw, I think it was to Salernitana. Yes, it was.
Yeah, who they had problems against last season. So
not the best start for that Roma and Jose Mourinho. But yeah, that midfield, man, they got some good players, right? Like, you wouldn't think they'd be struggling with those players.
Aouar, Sanchez, and Paredes. No, I don't think so either. But, I mean, then you look at this AC Milan team, you're like, ugh, they're scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Milan, man.
Same. Yeah. I'm going with the red and black in this one. And honestly, I don't really think it's going to be close. Okay, off to the Premier League. Brighton.
Ooh, I'm excited about this one.
Newcastle. The rough set of fixtures continues for Newcastle. Both teams looking to bounce back after tough losses. Will we get an Ansu Fati debut? Maybe.
Probably not.
I know you're excited. Who you got for this?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Brighton.
I'm gonna go Brighton. Yeah. I personally I can't see anything between these two teams, even at the Amex, and I'm gonna go with the draw.
So I think the reason I'm saying Brighton and why I think they'll excel in this game is they're coming off a tough loss to West Ham. They're still playing at the Amex. But Brighton plays better against teams that play attacking football versus teams that sit back and defend.
I agree. Yeah.
And Brighton are very susceptible to a counterattack. Versus, man, Newcastle, they're just balls to the wall. They're trying to get that ball from you and go. And I think against Brighton, with their slick passing, they might be able to get around them.
I think you're onto something, especially watching Manchester City against Newcastle. But I think, obviously, Brighton is not as good of a defense as City is.
No, but also in that game, I feel like Newcastle sat off.
They did quite a bit, and I don't think that Eddie Howe will let them do it for this game.
I don't think they'll show the same respect to Brighton. Yeah,
I think this will be a very open game, and I think this will be one of the best games to watch all season.
And I think it'll be fun. You're not wrong.
Speaking of fun games to watch, we got Union Berlin against RB Leipzig.
Whew, goal machines in this one, man.
Goal machines. Union Berlin have been in fantastic form. They scored 8 goals in 2 games.
4 goals each game is the average there. That's crazy.
They're looking like the Brighton of the Bundesliga.
They are. They are. That's a good comparison.
Kevin
I like it.
has got 4 goals in 2 games, including a hat trick in the opener against Mainz. Leipzig coming off a huge win against Stuttgart, scoring 5 goals in the second half. Who you got in this one?
I'm going Union Berlin, man. I'm high on them.
Me too, man. They look good, and I'm very excited to watch this game in particular. And I'm going to go Union Berlin as well, mostly because they're at home. I think it'll be pretty close.
And so I'll admit, I haven't watched a lot of Union Berlin, but I have watched RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
And so, for example, that Stuttgart game against Leipzig, they did not play well in that first half, and Stuttgart were actually ahead 1-0.
Yeah.
And then the second half, maybe it was Leipzig, yes, played well, but a little bit of a Stuttgart collapse / mistakes cost them. And so I'm going Berlin, man.
Yeah. They will definitely capitalize on those mistakes, I will say. All right. Another big game in the Premier League.
The one that's...
Liverpool, Aston Villa. How will Liverpool's defense fare without Virgil van Dijk? He's suspended for this one. He got an additional game added on to that for his conduct after his red card.
All of his shenanigans, yelling at the ref, not going off the field, yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I think the biggest thing in this game is, can Unai Emery get the edge on Jurgen Klopp with 11 men? Because if Liverpool get to 10, I think Liverpool will win.
It'll be better.
Yeah.
They've 100%. Had a red card in their last 2 games. Yeah.
I think if Liverpool get down to 10, Aston Villa stands no chance.
Which is wild to say. But Liverpool, man, their attack, like I said, it's a Rolls-Royce, Ferrari. Their midfield's a BMW, and their defense Cadillac, is a slug bug, man. It's a Volkswagen.
El Camino.
It's just a beater, but...
Yeah, it's beat up. It's been knocked around.
Poor Trent last weekend got beat up and knocked around.
I know.
I'm going to give it to Liverpool, though, man. The way they surprised me against Newcastle. We'll see if Darwin Nunez gets a start after that display. What more can a guy do to get a start?
Hopefully. My predictions are correct, though. Mo Salah will not play in this game.
I guess that's true if he leaves. I could change, honestly, my prediction if he leaves.
So I'm going to go, regardless if Mo Salah is there or not, I'm going to go with a draw if Liverpool have 10 with Liverpool have 11 and a Liverpool win if they have 10 players.
So if a player gets sent off, then they win, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I'm going Liverpool. But I think Villa will put up quite the fight. They're a fantastic team and look pretty good as well.
They are, but it is at Anfield, so I understand why you picked Liverpool. And then the final game of the weekend, the blockbuster
big one for
of
us.
it all, the big one, not just for us, but for a lot of the world, to be honest with you. We got Arsenal against Manchester United at the Emirates. United struggling with a lot of injuries in this one. I mean, Varane is out, Luke Shaw is out, Mason Mount, Tyrell Malacia, Amon Diallo, they're all out. Most of those are defenders. So their defense is going to be a little beaten up. Does Harry Maguire start for this one?
I'm guessing it'll be Victor Lindelof and Lisandro Martinez.
Okay. And Lisandro Martinez has been very error-prone this season so far.
That is interesting. So I've noticed in these first couple United games, him and Varane, both of them have been pulled off at halftime in a game.
Yeah.
Martinez gotten like an early yellow, I think, against Wolves, and he came off. And then I'm not sure what happened to Varane.
I think it was he got injured.
I think so. He guys made a glass too, man.
Yeah.
Somehow I just see Manchester United, how they've started. Everyone's been talking about their play, how they were lucky to get these wins. Watch them just put on a display against Arsenal at the Emirates.
Yeah, and I mean, it is possible that
That's
Rasmus
the life
Højlund,
of an Arsenal fan.
Rasmus Højlund could make his debut. And life of an Arsenal fan, we saw it last year when Antony made his debut. As terrible as he was the rest of the season, he scored a fantastic goal against Arsenal in his debut. So I got to throw that out there. However, the real questions are more about Arsenal than Manchester United. Will Gabriel Jesus be able to start? Will he be fit enough? And then the most pressing question.
That defense
will Mikel Arteta actually go to a normal formation against Man United?
That's what's for me, man. So to pick a winner, it's going to depend on the formation Arteta has out there. If Thomas Partey starts at right back and they go through that nonsense, I don't think Arsenal win this game. If he starts, as Zinchenko,
especially because it's going to be Thomas Partey against Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, so he's got to start Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White, and then I think he's got something.
Better start Gabriel, or I'm gonna freak out. I'm just gonna say
maybe play Partey in that midfield with Odegaard and Declan Rice.
Mikel Arteta, if you're listening, please for this game, please sit Kai Havertz. Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah.
You need a little more defensive cover than Kai Havertz for this one. And I would love to see Declan Rice unleashed against Manchester United. But Arsenal really... Well, I was going to say Arsenal really need a win in this one because they got a tough 6-game stretch coming up. They got United this weekend. Then they play Everton away.
Which was tricky last season, apparently.
Spurs at home. Bournemouth away. Manchester City at home. And then they go to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea in their next 6 games. So they need 3 points badly in this one.
If they want to be title contenders, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they're going to be far behind the 8 ball real fast.
They're going to be far behind that City ball.
Yeah. Yeah. And potentially, Spurs and Ange ball.
It's just City, man. They're going to... I know we both predicted... We predicted Arsenal, but man, can City just make history and win 4?
I mean, it's more likely than Arsenal winning the title.
I think so. You're not wrong. Yeah, it is. I mean, if they win 4, is Pep the greatest manager?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already up there right now.
He's already one of the best, but if he just wins 4 in the Premier League,
4 in a row in the hardest league to do that in.
Never been done, yeah.
He didn't even do that with Barcelona. So I think that's quite something to say.
Well, that's all I have to say, man. This is the end of this episode.
Yeah, I will say that I am going to pick Arsenal to win this game. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, it depends for me on the formation, but come on, you Gooners.
It's at the Emirates. United are not good away from home. Like, they're really bad. So I got to give it to Arsenal.
Well, let's hope so, man. But make sure you guys check out our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe, Give us the 4 stars on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on, Spotify, Apple. And as always, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Cheers.